Hey everyone, I'm Nick LaRue from FilmSnobbery, and I'm here not at the Slamdance Film Festival. I'm on the other side of the country, but these guys are at the Slamdance Film Festival to talk about their new movie Baby, a dramatic comedy that is having its screening there. Why don't you guys introduce yourselves?
I'm James Di Martino. I'm the director and producer of Baby.
And I'm Llewellyn Michael Bates. I'm the writer and producer of Baby.
Fantastic. Thank you for chatting with me. I appreciate it. Um, So let's talk about a little bit about the story development. Llewellyn, where did the story from this come from? Did you have some personal experiences kind of leading into it, or what was the genesis of this?
Yeah, so I work at a theater called Roller Coaster Theater, and we were doing a play on dreams, and I just asked everyone casually what their dream was, and then a lot of people said that they wanted to be in love, and then I thought of what would the extension of that be in a film, and at the time my sister was having a baby, and then being somebody who's neurodivergent, and then her being that somebody who isn't. I was thinking about just the different implications of our lives, and then what people expect from people with disabilities. So that's how Baby was born.
No, that's fantastic. We as I was reading about the movie, it reminded me a lot of a television show that we had in the United States years ago called Life Goes On, and it had um a man with Down syndrome on it. I don't remember the actor's name, but I know his character's name was Corky, and it was about him growing up, and um one of the season plot lines at one point was him wanting to have a child, wanting to get married, and he was wanted to marry another girl who also had Down syndrome. Um, and so it's not a completely unfamiliar story, but definitely an unlikely one. It was really interesting to see. I'll go over to James. What were some of the challenges in filming this? And you filmed it in Australia?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah. I think in terms of everything, a lot of things about this film were very complicated. You know, so there's a bit of an echo coming in. Sorry, is Llewellyn, maybe it's because you're in the other room. Can maybe if you mute your thing, like, yeah, yeah, great, thanks. I'm sorry about that. I'll start again. Yeah, so there was a lot of challenges on this from the casting. We needed to make sure that we found two actors with Down syndrome that I guess could lead this film. And that led to finding Aaron Kearns and Michael Buxton, who, they blew us away from just meeting them. They were very talented. They were very enthusiastic and passionate about filmmaking. And they had a lot of trust in us too. And that really helped a lot. In terms of specific moments, it was definitely the one take shot that we did to open the film. It goes for 2 minutes and there's a car crash in it. And we had to make sure all those elements moved together in a way that it looked good. And I did this for a number of reasons. First, it's a big metaphor for the movie. There's a big, like, the car crash was always written in the script. I came on as director and wanted to put it into a one take because it fits the metaphor of the movie, and also I want it to be my directing signature. I want people, when they come and see a James Di Martino film, that they are welcome to a long take that has interesting elements in it. Um, and so we had to make sure that Erin was comfortable following a route. We had to make sure that, like, Daniel Reader, who was smashing a mailbox and being very angry, and the car that was getting smashed, all lined up, and we filmed it in such a way that it was emotionally engaging to people, showed the stakes, showed, the craziness of this film and situation. So that definitely was a massive challenge. And filming the birth scene to get it as authentic as we could took a lot of challenge and a lot of courage from Erin, who I pushed hard and she was willing to give it a role. And, I think that that too was also challenging. But yeah, that's basically the two key moments for me.
Fantastic. Yeah, and I like the idea that as a filmmaker, you have an idea of like you want to put a signature on your films that, because there's a lot of filmmakers out there where someone will see a movie and they're like, oh, Steven Spielberg film. That's a Kevin Smith film. That's a Michael Bay film because it's got big explosions. Whatever that is, I think that, I think that's leaving that memorable stamp on there is really not. It's a great idea. I feel like a lot of filmmakers don't specifically look at that aspect, but it's definitely one way of making yourself stand out. And about the casting process, did you folks have to put out like kind of a generic casting notice out, or reach out to individual casting businesses, or did they? Are there specialty businesses or casting agents that deal specifically with actors and actresses with disabilities?
Mm. So in terms of getting Aaron Kearns, Llewellyn gave me a company to contact called Back to Back Theatre. And I contacted the company founder or person I needed to talk to, and they basically sent me a couple of options. And one of them was Aaron. And Aaron lived quite far away. So what we did was we set up a screen test, and she sent in a screen test. And look, I was quite very happy with what I saw in the screen test. It's very challenging to find someone. We had to find someone that was around 21 that fit the role of Michaela. That was quite challenging, and we really needed to find someone. So from the screen test, she was, I could tell that she was loved by the lens. She had a very good look for the film that we were going into, and that her that was the character that we were looking for, the optimistic person that we wanted. When we met with her and her mum, and we got along, and I actually saw the character that day, within just how she was acting.
That's
And
fantastic.
just little things that she was doing that I'm like, this is the character. So we got along. We could see that she was very passionate. Her mum is amazing, by the way. She was really like very supportive. Her mum and dad actually did a lot for the film, and they they brought her wherever she needed to go, and were very, very supportive of her being in the movie. So that helped a lot. I'll let Llewellyn talk about the casting of Michael Buxton and Yana Pandelis, because there's a bit of history there. But in terms of everyone else in the film, we actually worked with them before in some capacity. I mean, even to Daniel, who's our other producer, he plays one key character in this. He's always playing an actor in our films. And the rest, my fiancée, Sarah Jennifer Doot, who plays a supporting role in the film, and she's also associate producer. And the rest of the cast are all from, we either worked with them on my feature film, The Faceless Man, or I had worked with before that we really trusted. And that allowed us to, have a lot of trust in these actors to pull off their specific scenes. But I'll let Llewellyn talk about the other two actors that we got.
Over to you.
So Michael Buxton worked with a previous film that I made called Thomas Rides in an Ambulance. And I also work at the theater where he performs. So I always wanted Eric Charles, the character that Michael Buxton plays, to be played by Michael. Michael's not that sassy in real life like his character is. And then I took his personality, and then I sort of heightened it for the screen and made him more sassy. In real life, he's quite a sweet man. And I met Yana Pandelis because me and her brother used to work in a supermarket, and we were stealing coconuts one day. And he goes to me, "Oh, my sister's an actor." And I'm like, "Oh, yeah, okay." And then he goes, "You should put her in one of your movies." And then I'm like, "I'll be the judge of that." And then 4 movies later, we're still working together. Yana's amazing, a great naturalistic actor, very nuanced and very subtle. So I've always enjoyed working with her.
As being the writer and also a producer, was there a lot from the original script that you wrote or the original story that you wrote that had to change as you entered into production, whether for budget, time, anything like that?
So basically, working with James is really great because he doesn't want to impede the writing. And we have a philosophy together, which is like, whatever the best idea wins. So he's always like careful not to take away the elements that make things work. There's a scene in the bedroom that used to be in a bathroom in the old script, and then we just had to change a few minor changes to dialogue because the locations were different. But other than that, James really tries to enhance my work. And then he also has a great visual directing language in which he frames things, which are really amazing and always enhance the writing.
So, and how long was it before, from writing the film to production, like to saying we're going to make this, getting a director, getting everyone else on board? About how long did that take?
Um, well, Llewellyn had given me this script over 3 years, I think. I can't remember if it was 3 or 2, and I had read an initial draft of it, and it was Llewellyn. This is the funny irony of me and Llewellyn love joking around and cracking jokes, and then Llewellyn's like, "Look, would you like to win an Oscar?" And I'm like, "What about if a Palme d'Or?" And he's like, "What about both?" And then I'm like, we're joking around, we're cracking jokes, and he gives me the script, baby, and I'm like, "Oh, okay." I'm like, I liked it at the time. I thought it was. I thought at the time it was very like. I didn't know how we would pull it off, and I think that we went into another project. And when he gave me that, and then over the course of a couple of years, we're working out what to do. And Llewellyn gave me the script back again. And I'm like, why don't we try and do something a bit more optimistic, a bit more, let's not make it so extreme. Let's make it more PG or like G-rated so we can get a wide audience for this. Because we had both had experience of making extreme stuff that was not getting into film festivals. It was like, it was good quality films that had just been a bit too extreme or a bit too much. So we were like, let's dial it all right back and let's make it as nice for the audience to like. And then I got a script of it one day, and I was like pretty blown away by what I was reading. And I could start to see how we could pull it off. Like I was starting to see how important this story was, and then it went from that to me like, okay, this is a fucking story we really need to tell. Like it's really like it's there. Like we have something that's a great script, and I ensured to raise the money that was needed to get the film done to Llewellyn's ideas and writing, and that was really important because Llewellyn is a writer that writes really raw personal stuff that he's able to draw from that I don't understand. Like his world is very different, has a different world than mine. He understands it. So that's why I took it. And we were talking about not being preachy before. And that was really important to me too, So when I also write a lot, I read a lot. So when I see something really great, I can see it. And I just try and add that extra cinematic flair to the screen, because I feel like, as we said before, it's about the best idea. It's not about ego. It's not about me wanting to do something. It's about, hey, Llewellyn, what do you think of this? And if you guys, that's a great idea, let's do it. Amazing. We will go off ahead and do it. So yeah, hopefully that's my take anyway.
Awesome. Let's talk about the film festival. So is this both of your first times at the Slamdance Film Festival or in Park City in general?
This is the first really big film festival I've been a part of. We've been part of many film festivals, and I've been part of many film festivals in Australia, but nothing of like how this is. I don't think we actually even have anything like Slamdance back home because it's been a real wild ride of just meeting people I never thought I would meet, or interviews every day, or meetings with people and just seeing there's so many people here that just love cinema, and it just gets a bit intoxicating sometimes just talking about our love and passion for it, and
yeah.
Llewellyn might have another take.
Yeah, I'd say Slamdance is a very exciting film festival to be in because it envisions the indie spirit of like people who have really strong ideas and strongly made films that like usually wouldn't see the light of day if it wasn't for Slamdance.
Yeah, and I agree. It's a very unique place, and the great part of it is also that you have Sundance, right down the hill as well. So you get a mixture of both, like really super independent, film and filmmakers, along with a little bit of Hollywood and mainstream filmmaking as well. And you kind of got you get that you get to integrate and mingle with a little bit of everybody. Um, and yeah, how have audiences responded to Baby so far? Have they enjoyed it?
Yeah, look, I've everyone that's come to see it has come and spoken to us about it. People want to ask me how I did the opening long shot. Llewellyn had a really great experience the other day. You can say that if you want about how
Yeah.
that. Yeah,
Yeah, so there was a woman who came up to me who was quite touched by the film. And she explained to me how she had a family member who had Down syndrome, and she was really impressed to see something that was positive about people who had disabilities and wanted to have dreams. And she said she was blown away by how accurate and beautiful it was, which is one of the nicest compliments I've received.
That brings me to what'll probably end up being my last question, but good point you made there is, did you have to do any rewrites, or did you have to do any type of consulting with anyone to make sure that those depictions of people with Down syndrome were as accurate as they possibly could be to their experience, not just to like the filming of it, but like, no, this is kind of what they go through their daily basis, and all that.
Yeah, so through the process of the film, we sat down with both of the filmmakers and we went directly to them and asked them their opinions of the script and how they felt the situations felt to them, so that it could be as accurate as possible. And then the other thing that I do naturally as a writer is like I just hang out with the actors and the actresses, and then I learn about how they interact, like without being asked questions and non-verbally and stuff. But it was really important to me to run it past the cast members to see how they felt about it, because obviously it's not my experience, and I wanted it to be as accurate to their world as possible.
Fantastic. Well, look, I know that you guys have been through the ringer, at the festival, and I know how exhausting it can be. So I'm not going to take up any more of your time. You guys can go catch a nap, or hopefully you don't have any other interviews after this today. Enjoy the rest of the festival, guys. Definitely be safe, fly home safe, and thank you for your time. I do appreciate it.
no worries. Thanks a lot for having us on. We really appreciate it, and we appreciate Slamdance for showing the film to get it out there.
Excellent. Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thank you so much for having us. And I just want to shout out to Screen Australia, who gave us some funding, marketing and travel funding, so that we could be here and represent people who are different filmmakers who usually wouldn't have a chance to show their film around the world.
Totally important. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you.